On August 31st, I left San Francisco on my first flight since March. I was heading to Dallas for concerts with the Dallas Symphony, my first live performances in 6 months. I thought I'd document it to show the kinds of things orchestras are doing to keep making live music. I also wanted to show you my own personal journey as I very, very slowly return to a very, very diminished performance schedule. TSA at 8 a.m. on a Monday, usually totally packed at San Francisco Airport, but today they were totally empty. Concourses usually filled with travelers were also completely empty. Everything was new. The hand sanitizer they handed out, wearing a mask. I traveled nearly every week before the pandemic, but this was a very different experience of travel. I was actually kind of excited to be on a flight, and that's saying a lot because I really actually don't like flying. There was signage all over the hotel. When I got to my room, I discovered that my TV remote was disinfected and placed in a plastic bag. I'm thinking this might be a good thing even without COVID. I'm telling you, it's a whole new world. I'm here in Dallas at the Marriott, which is where I usually stay. The flight was great. It was really quiet. United was great. Clean plane, smelled like disinfectant. Everyone had masks on. Very empty flight. Maybe 20 people on a 175, so that was a new experience. It's weird because I don't have Pinkerton with me. I just didn't want to stress him or me out with this at first trip mid-pandemic. Just didn't know what it was going to feel like or be like. In any case, it's going to be an interesting week. I'm here Monday to Monday, so we'll see how that feels and what it's like. So I'm going to get some work done here. Check out the gym, and I'm really curious what that's going to be like. So this is going to be the first time I'm going to the gym in 6 months. That is the longest time I've not gone to a gym since I was 14, 13. I know it seems like a weird thing to get so excited about, but well, I've lifted weights a couple times a week since my 20s, so it's a really big part of me feeling like there's a little bit of normalcy. I definitely did my happy dance. We were COVID tested every day at the Dallas Symphony. There was a whole system. First you checked in, and then you headed to the temperature station. If you passed, you were given a wristband that you wore all day for access to the building. Then on to the testing station. This was not my favorite part of the day.
Put your mask down.
Put my mask down.
Head back.
Head back.
I'm going to go in one nostril. Coming out. Going in the other.
Okay.
Coming out. That's it.
And that's it. It's not so bad. It's not brain tickling. It's just sneeze inducing. And that's the whole system. Thank you, guys. So I'm in front of Meyerson, which is the Dallas Symphony's hall. I just got COVID tested for the first time ever. So we're getting tested every morning. It's Monday. My first rehearsal is Wednesday. Everyone had a time slot. It was super efficient. The test wasn't so bad as I thought it would be. I was really dreading it all morning. I think this is great. I'm glad the orchestra's doing this. And also I think bodes well for the future in terms of getting musicians on stage and what the safety protocols could and probably should be. So here we are. Very strange to be back at a hall that I perform in regularly with a mask and doing all these things, but just really grateful to be able to do so. Dallas was so empty, a little unnerving to be walking around this area and having it be so quiet. This was on my walk to a salon where I got my first haircut in 6 months. Very excited. And soon it was time for rehearsal with the Dallas Symphony. So now we're in the Meyerson. I'm in my dressing room. Here the orchestra warming up. It's just like everything is normal, but it's not. We're all in masks. There I am. There were things you don't usually associate with being backstage in a hall. hand sanitizers, gloves, masks, and the stage layout was something I'd never worked with before, really spread out. Yeah, it's exciting to be back at work, but also sort of heartbreaking to think that, I've missed, gosh, in the past 6 months, something like 16 concerts. And going into the fall, most things have been canceled for me. So this might be one of 2 or 3 things that I'm doing through the end of December, which, if you know what the schedule is usually like between Halloween and the end of the year, I'm usually booked solid. So this is it's a strange time and an extraordinary time. So some thoughts after the first rehearsal, which was great. All in all, just, I was really curious about what it would be like to be on the podium again. And I have to say, just walking on the podium and opening a score, picking up a baton, and just the sense of sound coming at me from all these directions. And it's very visceral to have this energy coming out from my gestures and have that response and have the sound created and that just all around me. And it's nice to know that it's there and that it was like coming home. And it felt comfortable, like time had never passed. And that was really comforting to me to feel that way. It's hard to explain what it's like to be back on a podium. There are perspectives on stage that very few people get to experience. I have to say it was pretty weird to be up there with a mask, although I did take it off when I was conducting. Ta-da, and here all of us are. Hey, we're on stage.
We're back.
We're back, everyone's back, and as you've seen, this is the stage in the plexiglass, and it's weird, but we're here making music, so that's the important thing. Or so we're telling ourselves. So.
That's right.
Yes.
Because it's true.
Because it's true. It's good to be back and have an audience, and
Culture and arts.
culture and arts, important. Bringing people together, very important. So thanks to all for making it possible. It's really weird to go from the noise and sound and conversation and energy in the hall to the silent streets of Dallas outside. It's really a strange disconnect. The sounds of an orchestra warming up. Pre-concert rituals that you forget about, like marking a score to remind me when I'm addressing the audience so that I stop and not go on to the next piece. And just the little, rituals, pre-concert rituals you have. It's, they all just come back. So just got back from Meyerson, first concert with the Dallas Symphony, and really remarkable kind of to see what the sensation is of being back on stage and the sense of sound coming to me from all these directions and funneling that energy and taking it into the audience, and to reconfirm how much it's a foundation for me and gives me a grounding in the world, but also how important that is to bring people together in a space and experience something in this communal experience thing. And it doesn't matter what our politics are, what our race, gender, preferences of anything are, because we are joined under this love of sound and music, and that's all that matters for the moment. It's always to me like a privilege to be a part of that. It's humbling. Even if the world is still upside down, everything feels all right when I'm backstage getting ready for a concert. And it's nice to be in my concert gear instead of sweats, which is how I've spent the last 6 months. So just a few reflections on this past week. Third concert's done. I think it's important for me to know that I can feel comfortable on stage and that I can still do what I'm doing, which is, you always wonder if that's what it's going to feel like performing, but that felt completely normal. And I guess also for me to come back to something that I've been away from for so long, it sort of gives you a different perspective, and it was like a hard reset of what I was doing and getting super caught up in just the busyness of my schedule and the sense of getting through things, and to get through things, you kind of just have to be fairly regimented and organized and direct about the way that you're doing things, and there's a certain rigidity in that, and to come out of that and have the space to sort of re-examine how I do things and what my priorities are and what's important and what music means, and then to translate that to a concert experience that is outside of a busy schedule, and sort of reassessing everything. And I find myself feeling more flexible about things, and also sort of secure in knowing what I want and how to get it. And just there's a certain clarity that's come from this time. The mementos from this week: some of the COVID clear wristbands, and my first packed suitcase in a hotel in many, many months. It was really a pleasure to be on that stage, to be amongst musicians, and to feel that energy. I can't wait to do that again.